Welcome to the DIY Goalie Podcast, where hosts and goalie coaches Nathan Park and Connor Monday share their insights on how to become a better goalie. Goalies, how are we doing today? Welcome back to another episode of the DIY Goalie Podcast presented by True North Goaltending. And we have an interesting one today because we're going to kind of split this up into two different interviews, which is a little different than we normally do. But we're going to be talking kind of about goalies fighting cancer. So to start off, myself, I will be interviewing Lara Hopewell from October Saves, and we'll kind of get into that. And then Connor is actually going to be interviewing one of his kind of former goalie clients who, battled a little bit of cancer on her own and kind of go through her story and all of that stuff. So we've got a bit of a different format today, but I think it's going to be a good one for you guys. So Lara, thank you so much for joining us today and providing us kind of with an insight on October Saves and what it's all about. How are we doing today?
I'm great, and I'm happy to be here. So thanks for having us on and letting me tell people all about our event and hopefully getting some goalies motivated to participate.
Yeah, for sure. So why don't we kind of dive right in? Why don't we start just telling us about your story, your background, kind of why you got October Safe started, and I guess what your role is now, and kind of the little bit of the growth throughout the years. Because it's been about 15 years now, I
Mm-hmm.
think. Yeah, 15
13,
years. So
yeah, 13 years.
13, yeah. So yeah, tell us about kind of your story and why you started October Saves and kind of how it's gone throughout the years.
Sure. So 15 years ago, my boys were just starting hockey and they were little. They were 4 and 7 and they were just falling in love with the sport of hockey. And at that same time, just completely out of the blue, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I was completely fine. And then I found a lump. And next thing you know, our family's dumped into this journey that we never saw coming. And for our family, the hockey rink really became a the place where my kids could get away from it and find a way to just not think about cancer and think about what's going on with mom and all the things going on at home. And as we all know, hockey communities are so wonderful and so supportive of everybody on a team or in the rink. And it was the same for us. Our hockey community supported me through my cancer journey. My husband and my two boys, and they were the happy place for us during that time. So once I got better, about 2 years later, once I got better and done with surgeries and chemo and a bunch of kind of yucky stuff, we decided, like, how can we give back and how can we participate in Breast Cancer Awareness Month? And I always say it was kind of like, okay, go with what you know. And by that point, both of my sons, both of them had decided they wanted to be goalies. So, we're living in the rink and I've got goalies. So what are we going to do? So we got together with a coach and with our club that my kids played for. And we decided we were going to start raising money for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And it was just a super simple concept at first. We were going to do, people could donate or make pledges per save during the month of October. So goalies could sign up and they could ask their friends and families to, pledge a certain amount per save for the entire month. And we thought we'd raise like a few $1,000s and we were going to donate to Stand Up to Cancer, which we did. And but every single goalie in the club signed up, every single one. So 28 goalies signed up. Their families were involved. The players were involved. Like the president of the club, the director of hockey, like everybody was all in. And we raised $32,000 and we were like, what? Like, this is amazing. And we figured, like, we have to keep going. Like, we think we've like sort of struck a nerve here. So the next year we decided to challenge another team. We're in Virginia, so we challenged a team in Maryland, and they were all in. And so we raised even more money. And then we went to the league that we participated in the next year, and they decided to roll it out to the entire league. And it just, grassroots just grew and grew and grew. And so now, 13 years later, we are all across North America, Canada, and the US, and we've raised $4.2 million. And goalies every October just jump in and start fighting cancer and making saves. And it's one of the most inspiring things you can imagine. It's super cool.
Yeah, I gotta ask because I know the consistency of shot counting varies greatly depending on where you are. So, is it something that you take like official box scores, or does somebody kind of in the stands, like a parent, just kind of keep track, or how does that work?
Kind of all of the above, because honestly, it's about fighting cancer, right? So,
Yeah.
and nobody wins like because it's a competition, right? So goalies are competing to raise the most money, but nobody wins off of the most saves. They win off of the most money raised. And if you're inflating your numbers because the goalies put in their own numbers, if you're inflating your numbers, you're kind of fleecing grandma, right? Like you're fleecing your friends and family, and they're probably going to adjust their pledge if things kind of get out of hand. So, and people do have the option to do flat donations too. So we always say that kind of it's an honor system, but it really kind of comes out in the wash because you know people are going to adjust their pledge if something starts getting kind of crazy in the shot count region.
Yeah.
But I will say, and this is the truth. I swear it's anecdotal, but this is the truth. Goalies shine during the month of October when they're participating in October saves. And we always say goalies get more shutouts in October. And we've had many a coach tell us this because they know people are watching them. Like their entire team is watching them and counting their saves. And when the goalies really know people are watching and realizing like how hard they're working and what they're doing, they put on a show. So they always do. We know our goalies are hard workers, but October, they're on stage.
Yeah. Should almost move that to March then, so we can take advantage of the playoff runs.
I know. Listen, people have said that before. Like, can we do a spring version of this? I'm like, well, it's called October Saves, so
Yeah.
we'd have to March Saves. I mean, we could, right?
Yeah. It'd be like March Madness.
March
No.
Madness, March Saves for
Yeah.
those still playing, right?
Yeah, there you go. No, that's awesome. So who can sign up to do the October saves, and how can they go about doing that? So I'm pretty sure it's goalies everywhere, but I do know that some goalies might think, oh, I'm a beer leaguer. This kind of applies to minor hockey goalies. So just want to clarify if that is the case, that any goalie can sign up, or what the deal is there.
Absolutely everyone. So our motto is all saves, one goal. So we say mites to beer league. We've got NHLers, we've got junior players, we've got tons of youth players, we've got high school players. Some of our favorite players that your players goalies. Some of our favorite goalies are beer leaguers that are just doing it for the love of it. We've even got inline goalies. So all ages, all levels, all abilities. We even have a whole posse of like gamers, like NHL, like gamers. And so they count their saves. So, COVID kind of brought that in for us because, not everybody could participate on ice. So if you're making saves in the driveway, you can participate. Like that's great. So all saves, one goal, everybody can participate.
Yeah, that's awesome. And just while we're talking about kind of the older goalies and the beer leaguers and stuff, because we have had him on our podcast before, I just kind of wanted to kind of get your take on what Justin Goldman's kind of impact has
Mm.
been from the goalie guild. And I know he's kind of been a big player in the growth of this. So I don't know if you can kind of touch on that a little bit and tell us what he's done for you.
Justin Goldman has been incredibly important to the growth of October Save. So we were actually introduced to him by a member of USA Hockey, and they knew that these two entities together could really do something important and special. And so when Justin was introduced, he was all in from the very beginning. He wanted to help, he wanted to introduce us to people, and really his social media platform, once he started talking about us on his social media platform, it was like all walls fell down. There was no more, barrier between US and Canada. Like we had to start getting ourselves able to take, Canadian donations and get everything figured out because, he's just such a, kind of a goalie whisperer, someone we all really use as an advisor. And we love all of his advice. And he's such a great human being that he has been one of our biggest supporters and he has promoted us all over the place. And, he's been critical.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of synergies there too with the Lift the
Mhm.
Mask initiative, and yeah, he's doing a lot of great things over there. Um, Speaking of like, you know, resources and stuff, do you guys have anything that kind of helps goalies to fundraise, like whether it's like, scripts or anything along those lines to kind of help them make the most out of their donations?
Yeah, so we actually, so when a goalie comes to octobersaves.org, they can come to that our website and they can register. And when they register, they are registering on a platform called Pledge It. And Pledge It is fantastic. It has all kinds of resources. So the minute you register, which is super easy, quick, fast, you then put your profile together, put pictures up, whatever you want to do, tell your story. But then there's resources on there. So there's emails you can send already written, there's text you can send. There's tips, there's advice. But then if you're at our octobersaves.org website as well, we've got all kinds of fun stuff there as well. So like we've got a big banner that you can put up in your rink. It's a big pink brick wall banner that you can put up in your rink so your entire rink can follow you as you're fundraising. So we've got stuff like that on there. We've got prize flyers and flyers that you can give out in the rink. You can give out to donors. So we've got a lot of resources and we really want people to lean on those and make it easy. Also, if a goalie's participated kind of year after year, all they have to do is when they re-register, boom, all of their data from the previous years is there. So they can go back to their donors they've had before. They can add new ones. You can add your email list, your parents' email list, whatever. And it's really easy and simple. And we always tell our goalies, if you sign up and put up a profile and send one email, you will be fundraising. You will start raising money, fighting cancer. We'll start giving you prizes for all the great, money that you brought in. And it's just that simple. It's that simple.
Nice. So do you find that like there's a different approach depending on the age level, like whether it is a beer leaguer or a pro goalie or just like a U11 goalie? Like, what are kind of some of the patterns, I guess, you see and kind of your favorite like intricacies that you kind of see the goalies do when they're participating in this?
Well, okay, so that's the thing that I think is special. There's so many special things about goalies,
Yeah.
but as we all know, goalies tend to be unique and they tend to have very distinct personalities. They may be quiet, they may be boisterous, they're, all kinds of different personalities they bring to the position, but they bring that uniqueness to their fundraising as well. So we've got lots of younger goalies who participate with their whole family. So they do snack bars at the rink, they do all kinds of fun stuff. They make crafts and sell them and all kinds of neat things to kind of bring in extra money so that they can try to raise more money. Then we've got goalies who are adults. I mean, we had one amazing goalie. She was fighting cancer herself. So she raised money, online and sent out emails and things like that. But she brought us along on her journey as well. And she wore her October Saves journey into surgery and took pictures and shared like the entire journey she went through with us and with October Saves and with her donors. And it was very, very powerful. So, we've got goalies who are participating just because they want to. We've got goalies who are participating because their mom or their grandmom may have cancer, maybe a classmate has cancer. There are all kinds of different inspirations that bring them to us as well. And they bring that to their fundraising. Whatever is inspiring them, they go for it. So, the other organizers and I, we kind of joke that every October we sort of spend the month crying because we see all of these amazing stories that these goalies are posting on socials or sharing with us, and they're so impactful. But it's really how they decide to do this event, and we give them the platform and the tools, and just say, go for it, go for it, and go raise money, and they do.
Yeah. So do you have like a couple cool stories or anything about I mean, I know you told the one of the adult goalie there, but I don't know if anything else comes to mind of kind of some of the things the goalies have done along the way.
Yeah, I mean, we've got an amazing goalie named Hunter. He's participated year after year, and his mom, his biological mom, is a breast cancer survivor, and his stepmom, she is currently fighting stage 4 cancer herself. And so, and one of his dear friends on a hockey team passed away last year from cancer. So what would have maybe made another child sort of close down has made this young man just, he is such an amazing charitable kid, and he is fighting for his mom and his stepmom and his friends. And, he understands what he's doing, and he leverages his community. And we're so inspired by him. He's back again this year and already, just going for it. One of our favorite goalies who's been participating for 6, 7 years now. We've watched him literally grow up in October Saves, but he is our number one fundraiser for the entire event ever, in all of North America. He's from New Jersey. His name is Lucas Epstein, and he has raised $78,000 to date, and plans to get over the $100,000 mark this year. And he's got all kinds of cool things. His dad is a furniture builder, a really cool furniture builder. So they're going to raffle off some cool furniture pieces. He's done golf tournaments. I mean, all kinds of neat stuff. There's just so many stories. I mean, we've had a goalie who all of a sudden popped into the rankings like the second week of October, and we didn't recognize his name. A lot of times we start recognizing these kids, and he popped in and was just in our top 10 in fundraising. We were like, what is happening? And he had just lost his mom like 3 weeks before. And for his family, this was for him to feel like he was doing something to fight cancer after what just happened. And we really try to make sure that our goalies understand where the money's going. So understand where their hard work is going. And so we share the research funds, and, we do interviews with doctors. And when we can, we actually take them to the hospitals. And we took this young man to the hospital and showed them, like, where are we funding? Where are the dollars you are raising? Where is it going? So they can feel like there's part of the fight, really feel like it. That's very important to us. So all of these stories are just these, I could just keep telling stories about just these incredible goalies doing these incredible things, year after year. One of our other top goalies, his name is Ike Cole, and he's amazing. His mom, Tracy, is a 3-time cancer survivor, breast, colon, and lung. This is the strongest woman I've ever met in my life. She's incredible. And they are such a fundraising team. Like, she and Ike every single year absolutely kill it, because they're just inspiring. And they just want to fight cancer. So all of these stories, but then we've got other goalies who are participating because they just want to fight cancer. They just want to do something, right? You don't have to have a personal connection to want to fight cancer, So sometimes they're doing it because their club's participating, or they just want to. And we, bring it. All of you sign up. We're here for it.
Yeah, for sure. When it comes to goalies, obviously we're very competitive by nature. I do know that you guys kind of have a bit of a prize pack or whatever for for is it top 5 or is it top 10?
Well, okay, so we do all kinds of different prizes because, yes,
Okay.
we too know that goalies are a very competitive bunch, right? So we figured, let's leverage this, and then we also want to reward them because we know they're working hard, right? So the top 5 fundraisers in the U.S. and the top 5 fundraisers in Canada, they win these great prizes. So a goalie mask, leg pads, glove and blocker, skates, a stick. So really expensive goalie gear. You win, and you get to pick your piece of equipment, whatever you win, and then we facilitate the purchase of that and get that sent to you, which is fantastic. I mean, for some of these kids, a brand new pair of leg pads they get to pick. Mom and dad didn't have to pay for them. It's pretty amazing. But we want to make sure that everybody is rewarded as they go along too. So we have milestone prizes. So if you raise $250, you get a helmet sticker. And we're now doing every year, we do a new helmet sticker. So you could line those up on your helmet. If you raise $500, there's t-shirts, there's hats, and then our big one. So if you raise $2,000, we have the October Saves jersey. And that is a big one. They want to win that jersey because, then the next year you can wear it while you're fundraising. You can wear it during practice, during games, whatever. Every 2 years we change the design of the jersey so we can keep, kids wanting to, and everybody wanting to get that jersey. The jersey we have right now. So if you raise $2,000, you win this jersey. It's October Saves. And then on the back, it says making saves for. And you can put who you're making saves for. You can put your donors on there. You can put people that in memory and honor, all of those things. So we want to make sure that they're feeling rewarded, feeling excited. We want to help them get motivated to get over that next milestone. And it's really, really fun. So they love that. At the end of the event, we ship all these big pink packages to everybody, and they know they're coming in the mail. And then we also do, just a kind of motivator, because again, competitive. We do Top 10 Tuesday, sponsored by the Goalie Guild, which is awesome. So every Tuesday we do the top 10, on socials, and we send it out. So the top 10 goalies in the US and Canada, and they get a prize pack from Justin from the Goalie Guild, which is super cool because he's got great stuff. And then we do Top Team Friday. So we do the top 3 teams for the entire event every Friday. So that's just like kind of bragging rights. Like, it's motivational. People want to kind of like jump over each other. Like, it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
And then, at the end, November 10th, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the final for, donations to count towards, the challenge itself. And that final hour can get crazy,
Yeah.
crazy watching these goalies try to get these big prizes. So it's fun. Like, we know the goalies are doing this for the right reason. They're doing this to fight cancer. They're doing it in honor and memory and for people they love and, want to help out. But if we can motivate them and give them some fun stuff, like, we're all in for that too.
Yeah. And so do the funds go to like one specific, maybe like national cancer charity, or is it kind of like localized? Like, do the goalies kind of get to pick like where it goes? Because I know like when October Safe started, it was more directed to breast cancer, and now
Mhm.
it's kind of just, cancer in general.
Yeah.
So how does that work in terms of like where the funds do go for these charities?
So yeah, it evolved over time from pediatric and breast, because September and October, to all cancers, because we know, after we've spent so much time working with these doctors and research funds, that research on one cancer type could find breakthroughs in another cancer type. So we support kind of all cancer genres, I guess you'd say. But we have some main beneficiaries that we support. The Innovashar Cancer Institute, which is here in the Mid Atlantic in the United States, and then we do CHOP Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, which if someone's child has cancer, they're probably at some point going to be going through that facility. Their breakthroughs there are incredible. The research they do is incredible. So we support them. We support the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, because obviously they're in the Jimmy Fund. They're doing incredible things in the Boston area up there. But obviously people, again, travel to Dana-Farber if they've gotten a diagnosis as well. We support Life with Cancer, which is support services free of charge to anyone with cancer anywhere. And so they do incredible things to support people going through a full family, effort. If, someone's got cancer, they've got support services and treatments for everybody. So we love them. And then we try to do, we want to get the local aspect as well, because that's very motivational. So if a state raises, because we do track, the funding, the fundraising in states, not just goalies and teams, but states. If a state raises over $50,000, we will do a $5,000 local donation and then it's decided at that time what it's going to be each year. If they do $100,000, again, which is not hard to do, then we do a $10,000 donation to a local cancer charity. And so if you visit the beneficiaries page on our website, you'll see all the different organizations we support, Johns Hopkins, and just all kinds of incredible, Northwell, and there's just all these beneficiaries that we do support because of the state funds that we're able to give as well. And that changes every year, kind of depending on what states do what. Some of our beneficiaries are actually the NHL Hockey Fights Cancer Foundations. So the Washington Capitals, we actually do like a $20,000 donation last year. We were super excited to be able to do for them, which again goes to a cancer research and support services as well. So we have the big organizations, and then we've got the smaller ones. And then in Canada, we support the Canadian Cancer Society. And actually, so all funds raised in Canada stay in Canada, never come into the US. So we make sure everything goes the way it should be with tax laws and all that good stuff. But your money goes straight to the Canadian Cancer Society, and then you do have the ability to pick through them if you're a Canadian donor. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. So, since you've been doing this, what do you think your favorite part is about being involved with this movement?
Hands down, it's the stories of the goalies. They are so inspirational. They are so just amazing adults, kids, their families, like they rally their full community, their hockey club, their rink. Like the stories are incredible. And I'll tell you, this year we're really working to share those stories to the best of our ability on our social media. So we're really working to tell like stories. So if anybody has stories, feel free to send them to us. But we're sharing these goalie stories because they're so important. And that is hands down the most important thing. And understanding why people are raising money and joining our cause. But also, we love the goalie nation. Like this is the one time where goalies get to do something together. And it is unique. Goalies are unique on their team. They're only, one, two of them, maybe three at most on a team. So they are kind of an island. In a game, they're opposite some other goalie. Who's that goalie? They may or may not know them. So we love that this is like the one time where we really are rallying the full goalie nation, and honestly the goalies love it. Like we've had before, we had one goalie on one side of the ice during a game. The goalie on the other side of the ice had seen this goalie through October saves, like on social media, and realized that this other goalie he had lost a loved one to cancer. So they knew they were going to play this team. So this other goalie, they had a gift, and at the end of the game where they had won, this other team had won, they skated over to the other goalie and like were hugging this goalie and telling them they were so sorry what happened. And the other goalie was stunned and like to tears. Like everybody was in tears because they knew who each other were because of October saves, and they knew that this other goalie was suffering, and they wanted to support them. And so it's just this sense of community in the goalie nation is, I mean, it's stunning. It's stunning. It's really, really inspiring.
Yeah, for sure. So if people do want to get involved as like a goalie or a donor or a volunteer or something like that, how could they go about doing that?
So if you'd like to participate, and we invite all people that are making saves to come to octobersaves.org, and you just click the register button. And again, it's quick and easy, and you can get registered. If you'd like to be a donor, also come to octobersaves.org, and you can click the donate button and quickly find your goalie, or you can make a general donation, or you can donate to a team because teams also participate. So there's different ways that you can make a donation. If you would like to rally your club, rally your rink, rally your organization, we would love that. So bring our event to your director of hockey, to your goalie coach, to whoever, and say, hey, we'd love to do this. Like, can we ask our goalies if they'd like to participate? That would be amazing. Goalie schools participate, rinks participate, teams participate, colleges participate in any way, shape, or form you can. So either we'd love to have you sign up and make saves for October Saves. We'd love to have you donate to a goalie, or bring this to your rink, bring it to your club. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we're going to hop in on this year and hopefully get kind of the clients that come see us. We can maybe make a True North goaltending team, and
That's
we'll we'll
awesome.
put it out there for you guys. So we'll put all of that in the show notes so you guys can take a look at either joining our team if you wanted to, or doing something on your own. Before we fully wrap up here, what is kind of the future hold for October Saves? Like, what sort of things are you looking to do to kind of change things up a little bit as we go and keep growing?
So every year we change things up a little bit. We change prizes, we change, maybe sometimes we change different like features, things like that every single year. We know the sky's the limit with ice hockey goalies or with, goaltenders. So we focus primarily on ice hockey goalies. We've got inline folks too. We are always constantly asked for other sports, lacrosse, field hockey, soccer. So, that's there. Like that, we know someday we will get there. But right now, there's so much room for growth in the ice hockey world. So that is still our focus. Netminders in the rink are still our focus, and, in inline as well. Someday we'll probably get to the other sports because they ask every single year, like every single year. And we love that. Like, that's amazing. But yeah, we just want to keep growing. Like, we have a team element that we do, and it's really grown exponentially every single year in the past 3 years, where now you can form a team however you'd like to. So again, it's a goalie school. It's 2 goalies on a team. It's whatever. It's a rink full of goalies. So you can build these teams. And we're loving the growth of that right now because that's really, again, building the community. And we've got a really fun prize. So our top team wins the Mitch Korn Fireside Chat. And Mitch Korn is, kind of the Google him if you don't know his name, because he is the
Yeah.
goalie whisperer of the NHL. He's absolutely amazing. He runs the best camps, but he's with the Predators right now. He had come from Long Island. He was with the Capitals before that. Like, he's fantastic, super dedicated to our cause as well. And we fly him to your rink. He does a big presentation. We have food. It's all really fun. The past 2 years, the Washington Capitals goalies have come to, which is super cool, and answered questions with the kids. So we're really building this team aspect right now. So we love the idea that it's way more fun and effective to fundraise together. So rally your goalie friends. Let's go.
Yeah, we've just recently brought on a couple coaches to actually start tackling the ringette side of goalie development.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's I know the ringette goalies are very underserved, so that could be one to
Listen,
hop
we
into
love the
next.
ringettes, and the ringettes sign up right now, because I'll tell you, the Canadian Cancer Society, because we brought them on like 3 years ago, I think. Canadian Cancer Society was like, hey, the ringettes, they're in. And we were
Yeah,
like, yes, like, yeah, absolutely. We love it. Ringettes sign up right now. Like, that's fantastic. So yeah, I mean, everybody really can participate. Again, like, we've got gamers that participate, and we
yeah.
love it. And they do redo their like avatars. I don't know, I'm not a gamer, but they're in all pink, and they do all the kind of fun stuff, and they compete with each other. So, if you're making saves in October, join up. We would love to have you.
Awesome. Well, as we wrap up here, Lara, where can people find you? And also, like, I know we talked about the website with October Saves, but why don't we kind of talk about some of the socials too as well, and all of that, for if people want to learn more, if people want to keep up to date, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So come visit us on any of the socials. So, obviously we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, all of the above. We're on everything. So come see us there. We've got lots of stories, and we love to promote the goalies. So the goalies that participate, when they post on their socials, obviously they collaborate with us. And so we love to promote what they're doing. And every day it's like, this goalie's doing this goalie's doing that. So it's a great place for ideas. It's a great place to get inspired. It's super fun to see what people are doing, a little competition. So yeah, definitely check us out on social media. October Saves is our handle everywhere. And so we'd love to see you there. And then come to octobersaves.org, which you can get all of the details. Lots of folks, again, this is super important, just by the way. If you'd like more information on how we function, how much, our tax reports, everything is on there. We're very transparent, and how much money we give, where we give. We've got like 100% on Charity Navigator. We run a really tight ship. So if you'd like to learn more about who we are and where we give the money, you can come to our website too. So yeah, we just, everything's on our website and on our social media, and we try to have a lot of fun there. So come and check us out.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, as we said, we'll put all of that in the show notes so you guys can take a look at that, and highly encourage you guys to get involved. A big thank you for taking the time and being generous with your time with us today, and also for kind of all you've done over the last little bit over a decade with all of this. I know I've kind of been an outsider following for a couple years, since it's been a long time since I've made a save, but I think this year we'll try and hop on board and kind of create a team with some of our goalies too, and try and get that going, because it does sound like a lot of fun, and it's been kind of sad being on the sidelines. So
Well, join us, jump in. We would love to have you. You'll love it. You'll love watching your goalies raise money, and all
yeah,
the, and I want to say a quick shout out, all the volunteers in all the rinks across the US and Canada who help us out.
yeah,
They are amazing. They're goalie moms, goalie dads. They're the team manager. They're the director of hockey. We've got the best volunteers everywhere that are helping us out. And a huge thank you. And our goalie coaches, like you guys, like, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And then of course, all our volunteers with October Saves are wonderful. So we thank you. Thank you.
yeah. As we all know, the goalie community can do some wonderful things. So
Yes, I will tell you that from the bottom of my heart. They absolutely do, every single year.
yeah. Well, again, very much appreciated. And we will let you go to do all the things that you need to do gearing up for
Busy,
October.
busy.
And for all you guys listening, we will kick you over to Connor's interview with Kalen. And as Connor likes to say at the end of every episode, make some saves, goalies.
Goalies, Welcome back, or welcome to my part of the podcast here at the DIY Goalie Podcast, presented by True North Goaltending. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed that segment with Nathan and the rep from October Saves. It's going to be a great program, and we're super happy to be part of it. I am captaining my own interview today, alongside with my daughter Emerson, who's hanging out with me right now, wide awake, and so we're happy to be here. I am joined today by a very special guest, somebody who I've gotten to know quite well over the last little bit. She reached out to me with some or wanted to do some training. Unfortunately, things kind of fell through due to cancer diagnosis, and but she's pulled back stronger. She's gotten to do a lot of amazing things that we're going to touch on today. Please welcome to the show, Kalen Anderson. Kalen, how are we doing today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
Well, like I said, I have daughter in my arms here,
Yeah.
so it is possible that we may have to jump cut a couple of times, but
All
we
good.
shall see. So far, she's doing pretty well here. I think she's just enjoying the bright screens that are in front of her right now. So we're gonna dive into a little bit about Kaylin's journey into goaltending, how she got into playing, and then just kind of really dive into the cancer diagnosis, because I think that's the whole point of this episode. First off, and
Yeah.
then it's such a very interesting and exciting story. So, Kaylin, what is your origin story, and how did you get into goaltending?
Yeah, so basically, I've been playing hockey ever since I was like super little, ever since I could walk. And it, I think it was second year U13 or first year U15, where like you have to choose one player to be goalie. You have to register someone as that position. And no one else wanted to be the goalie, but I did. I wanted to be the goalie so bad, and the coaches were like asking people around, and my dad was the head coach. Obviously, he didn't want me to be the person that would make the scene and ask him like to be the goalie in front of everyone. But I asked him and he said no. So I like started crying and I was like, please, like I want this so bad. Like you don't understand. And in front of all the coaches and the managers and all the players, my dad finally caved and said yes because he was embarrassed. So but it worked out good in the end, so
Okay. Typical, dad doesn't want their kid to be the goal. Yeah,
yeah.
I might be going through that myself here next couple
Yeah.
of years here. So okay, so just kind of touch on your playing here career quickly, and forgive me, my knowledge about it is quite limited.
Mm,
So you grew up here in the Edmonton area. To my knowledge, you played with Sherwood Park,
mm.
Fort Saskatchewan Fury, and that's kind of where my knowledge goes from there. So this kind of helped me fill in the blanks here. Like, did you play with Edmonton girls minor hockey, or was it strictly Sherwood Park? Just kind of how did all that come about?
Yeah, so, I'm from Fort Saskatchewan, so we only have, like, a house league team here, so I basically played there until my second year U15, and then I decided that I wanted to go try out for the Kings, but in the Insured Park, the double A team. And I did get offered a spot to play underage on the U18 team. So I played U18 a year younger than like you're supposed to and stuff. And then that was kind of my last year before everything. So yeah.
Okay, okay. So then fast forward
Mhm.
to how old were you? I guess just when you were diagnosed, and then just kind of what, like, were there any like signs and symptoms beforehand? Obviously, like we don't want to dive into too much about it because it is a very personal experience. So just kind of at what age, and just kind of how did everything come about leading up to the diagnosis?
Yeah, so I was 15. I went into the hospital September 2023 because I go to Vimy. So I just joined the lacrosse program there, and we were doing like testing at the gym. And while I was doing my testing, you have to do it in front of everyone, and I got a lot of comments from my friends about how my one leg was really like a lot bigger than the other. And I had always like noticed that for the past like year, but everyone I've talked to really said it was like just because I had more muscle in that leg, so I kind of like brushed it off. But like when they started noticing it, like when my friends started noticing it, I knew it was bad. So I told my dad when he picked me up from school, I was like, "Hey, do you think we could go to the doctors? I just want to check out my leg. Like some of my friends are saying it's like bigger." And he was like, "Yeah, okay." And then he picked me up and he's like, "No, we're going straight to the hospital because it was that much bigger." I think it was almost 3 times as big.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you go to the hospital. Also, I'm also a Vimy kid, by the way, so
Oh,
represent.
yeah.
Uh, so leading up to the hospital, you get in the hospital, you sit down with the doctor, and then what kind of transpired from there?
Okay, so I went into the emergency room and I think I sat there for 13 hours. And when I finally saw a doctor, he was like, "Okay, we need to transfer you to St. Albert so you can get the ultrasound that you need because we don't have that here." So I went straight to St. Albert and then I got in there pretty quickly. And then they sent me, after the ultrasound, they sent me to the stollery. And my dad said that's when he knew something was like really wrong. So they kind of they like transferred me to the stollery and I was there for I think a week and a half. And I was just doing MRI, PET scans, ultrasounds, all the tests you can imagine. And yeah, it was crazy. Like I've I went to like never doing that to only doing that. And it was
Right.
yeah.
So what was the type of cancer that you were diagnosed with?
So I got diagnosed in November. So
Okay.
it took them a while to like actually figure out what it was because mine was so rare. It's synovial sarcoma. It's 1 in a million in sarcoma diagnoses alone. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
And so just again, not going into too much detail. I'm
Oh,
trying not to, dive into personal stuff. So
mm,
just what is wait, it was synovial sarcoma, right? So just what is that? If you can kind of explain that to us.
yeah, it's kind of like a mass in like the soft tissue and like mine was in my lymph nodes. So then
Okay.
that's what kind of like sarcoma is. So I just had like an 11 centimeter mass in one of my lymph nodes. So it like it's hard to explain. It was it's
Okay. Yeah, yeah, no, 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 no. Totally fair enough. I think we kind of get the gist of it, and for those that want to Google afterwards, after they listen to
yeah.
the episode, have at her.
Mhm.
Okay, so I guess just before we continue forward in the story, just kind of what was going through your mind, what was going through your family's mind. I actually would have loved to have your dad on the podcast as well, because I know that he was your biggest and number one supporter
Yeah.
throughout all of this. So just kind of what was going through your mind, what was going through your family's mind, just kind of what were the emotions and just the feelings that you guys were having during all this and leading up to and after the diagnosis.
Yeah, so it was a really complicated situation because a week before I was diagnosed, we got called in and they told us there was no cancer. So we were very like happy. We were on cloud 9 for about like a week and then they called us back. And then they kind of were like, "Oh yeah, you have cancer. Here's what's going to happen." And they started like explaining everything and obviously like I was in denial. Like I didn't even like process what was going on until I started to lose my hair. That's when it really like started. And that happened 3 weeks after my first round of chemo. So it wasn't like an immediate process for me. It was kind of like it wasn't real. Like I didn't feel real. But
Okay.
my parents like devastated, like obviously it had probably like snapped to them easier than it did for me. So,
Okay. Obviously, very scary situation all around.
mm,
Doesn't matter what type of cancer that it is. Obviously, something that nobody should ever have to go through
mm,
uh, in their life. So, um, very, very proud and commend you for, what it is that you're going through, and and how you guys handled it all. It was very, very interesting story to watch and to listen to. So obviously at some point you had to stop playing sports in order to be dealing with this, stop with lacrosse, stop with playing hockey. So just kind of walk us through in as much detail as you'd like, just kind of the whole process, the treatment, the chemo, the radiation, and
Yeah.
just kind of everything that comes with the cancer diagnosis, and
Mhm.
just kind of what was going through your mind, and just how much of a drive was it for you in order to get back into sport?
Yeah, I think the thing that took the biggest toll on me really was not being able to play hockey. And I wasn't able to play ever since I got admitted to the hospital the first time when they were doing the test because they found a blood clot in my leg. So I had to be on blood thinners for basically like my whole treatment. So I was, when they were doing the tests, there was nothing like actually wrong with me until they diagnosed me, but I couldn't play because I was on the blood thinners. So that was kind of like sucky because like I felt completely fine and I was in great shape, but I couldn't play. But then after I started chemo and stuff, like I got my brain is all like fluffy because of it because I have like brain fog or whatever from the chemo.
Sure.
And yeah, so like I have friends that came to visit me, but I don't remember because like of the chemo and stuff. I It was really hard too because I really wanted to play on the Kings again because I was in the middle of tryouts when I got like sent to the hospital. So I had to watch all my friends play for the team that I wanted to play for so badly. And like the coach did everything he could to like include me and stuff, but it just started to kind of suck when I couldn't like keep up physically anymore. And I think it was after my second or third round, I got sent to Florida on Boxing Day for 2 months for my radiation because we don't have the proton radiation here. But the Ben Stetler Fund is trying to bring it here, so that's great. Um, but yeah, they sent me over there for 2 months, but I was doing chemo at the same time as I was doing my radiation, which isn't like a common thing. Usually it's one or the like when either you're doing just radiation, but it was like doing both at the same time was really hard cuz it's like radiation is basically like just it's like burning basically. So
Right.
after I was done, I had like a really, really bad burn. Like I couldn't like it hurt to even like wear pants or like shorts because like of where my cancer was because it was in my right groin. So like there was really it was really like raw and stuff and because of the chemo, I couldn't heal from it properly. So it took like a while. Like it took me until um March, I think, to for it to finally like heal. So yeah, I flew back. Um, when was it? February, like late February, and I still had to do 3 or 4 rounds of chemo. But my last round, I got to do it like outpatient, so I could go in and then get it and then go home again, so I could finally like relax because usually during my chemo I like struggled a lot with the recovery. Usually it takes like people like 2, 3, 4 days to recover from after the chemo, but it took me like 1 to 2 weeks. Like it was my body took it really rough and I started getting like dizzy spells and like wherever I would stand up, I would like pass out because I couldn't see or hear anything. So like I had to be in a wheelchair a lot too. Like it was bad.
Okay. So then again, just very daunting and probably very tiresome
Yeah.
process throughout that entire thing. Okay, so then fast forward further, at some point I get in the picture, and you and I start chatting back and forth a
Yeah.
little bit about getting you training and getting you back with the Kings for the upcoming year, and I believe that was a year ago, somewhere
Yeah.
along those lines. And then something happened from there.
Yeah. So I actually contacted you in Florida, because when I was in Florida, I was very motivated because I was very homesick, and I was very motivated to get back home and get back to my normal life because I was tired of the one I was living in the States. So I think I contacted you really more out of like excitement, out of like not like realistically, because when I contacted you, the doctors were telling me that I would never be able to skate again. But
Okay.
I didn't care what they said because I knew that regardless, I was going to find a way. So I contacted you and I was like, yeah, like I want to be back for the year after, and like, but I like my timeline was way too unrealistic. But
Yeah.
now it would make sense. But I was just like very, very, very excited to get back on the ice because that's all I could think about.
Okay. Thank you, first off.
Yeah.
uh, and then, so yeah, and no, I definitely shared that excitement with you.
Hmm.
And I think just from an outsider's perspective, just wanting to, be able to help you get back on the ice and be able to help you get back at full strength and be able to help you get at the team that, that you wanted to be on. And obviously, the cancer came back, if I recall the story correctly. No, okay.
No.
Um, so okay, I'm getting my stories mixed up then.
Yeah.
So obviously, then at some point, you were told then you couldn't go back to playing goal, and that was bummer for you, bummer for
Mm.
me. Um, but you did end up managing to get back on the ice
Yeah.
at some point as a player with the Fort Saskatchewan
Mhm.
Fury.
Yeah, I kind of after I had 3 major surgeries on my leg, and with the radiation, my leg is now, like, permanently swollen, so I have a thing called lymphedema. So, I don't have enough lymph nodes to, like, get rid of the fluid in my leg, so now there's just extra fluid, which makes my leg, like, bigger than the other. So, that was, like, that's the biggest thing that really prevented me to play goal when I wanted to, because when I was done treatment, I went to physio at the Cross Cancer, and they were telling me, "Well, slow down. Like, we don't know how your leg's gonna react. Like, all this stuff." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna try." So I decided to try player because I feel like that's kind of easier on the legs than a goalie. So I was like, "Okay, if I can do this, then I'll ease my way into goalie, and then I'll just full send."
Mhm.
So
Okay.
that's what I basically did. I just decided to go full player mode, and I was playing at Vimy as a player, and I was playing on just the house team here in Fort as well.
Future Connor McDavid in the no. Fair.
That's not the player I'd compare myself to, but
No, fair. No, fair enough. I guess kind of sidetracking for a second. So just what was that experience like to go from playing goal, jumping over to forward? Was there any? I guess like if, I suppose like if for me there would be a little bit of jealousy, not being able to be back in the net, playing in front of your goaltender, and then just kind of what was that experience like, just diverting from goalie to player, and then just kind of dealing with what you were dealing with in your leg at the same time.
yeah, it was honestly pretty fun. Like I enjoyed it. It kind of brought me back some like nostalgia from when I was younger because I still got to play with the girls I used to play when I was younger. But yeah, I just felt like I feel like it's a closer position because you have to rely on other people more. So I really lacked with like puck confidence though, which is like predictable if I haven't been playing. But yeah, it was fun and I just yeah, playing in front of like goalies and like in front of like my goalies too. I had so much jealousy. Like I remember like I would zone out and just watch the goalies cuz that's exactly where I wanted to be. Like yeah, I was like I didn't like say it out loud, but I was definitely very 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 jealous.
Well, now you're saying in front of the whole world. so
Exactly.
so so there you go. Okay. So moving on from there, and then we kind of lost contact a little bit, which is fine. At some point there, the Washington Capitals are in the mix. You see, you
Yeah,
got a couple of jerseys behind you there. You got TJ Oshie and the
that's
breast cancer or
cancer.
this the cancer awareness jersey, and you also got the cancer sweater that you're rocking here. Again, a better team to cheer for than the Capitals, but appreciate the respect, Braden Holtby and all that. So,
Yep.
you were featured quite prominently with the Washington Capitals as well as Vimy Hockey and academic athletic development with Vimy there across the socials. What was that first off? How did that come about? What was that experience like? And you did manage to get the strap on the pads and face some of the Washington Capital shots.
Yeah, so that was actually my Make-A-Wish. So, um, Make-A-Wish reached out to me and they were like, "Oh, you get a wish." But they were waiting till after I was done all my treatment to like go forward with it. And really, this was the only thing I wanted to do. So when I went for my like Make-A-Wish interview, they were like, "Okay, what's three things that you want to do? One that's outside of Canada, one inside of Canada, and one inside the province." So I kind of gave my lady like a little bit of a hard time. I was like, okay, for my first one, I want to go to Washington. I want to meet all the players and I want to do everything I can. And for my in my country one, I want to go to Toronto and I want to meet the Capitals there, but and skate with them there and stuff like that. And then for my in province one, I want to do it when they come play the Oilers. So I kind of like, she was like, okay, well, do you have anything else? And I was like, not really, honestly, like, that was really my do or die, so but it did end up working out, which I am so, 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 so grateful for because that is honestly the 2 best days of my life, like, ever. It was amazing, and I felt like I truly did feel like one like, a player on the team, and it was just great, like and they got me my brand like, my own jersey and stuff with my last name on it and stuff, and I asked them for 77 because Oshi is obviously my favorite, but they gave me number 1 because they wanted me to have my own, like, position on the team, and I thought that was really special, and they just treated me like gold, and it was so great and amazing.
What was it like to meet TJ Oshie? Did you get a chance to speak with the goal? I mean, I'm sure you had a chance to talk with everybody on the organization, but just okay, I guess first before I get ahead of myself because I care more about the goalies than I do the players. So just getting to meet TJ Oshie, he's your favorite NHL player. What was that experience like?
I honestly couldn't believe it. Like I kind of had like my hopes up. I was like, "Oh my god, what if TJ's here? Like, oh, I'm going to freak out." I and then I was signing the like 1-day contract and they were like, "Oh yeah, we have like a bunch of goodies for you and we have like a special guest." And I was like, "Oh my god, if TJ when she walks through the store, I'm actually going to start bawling my eyes out." And he did walk through the door and I kind of like froze. Like I was like, "Oh my god." And I felt so bad because I was like the most awkward I've ever been in my life. And he's probably like, "Okay, like yeah, like it's so nice to see you." And I'm like, "Yeah." But no, it was so like he's such a nice guy. Like everyone was like, "Don't get your hopes up, like, you shouldn't, like, meet your heroes," but he honestly, like, outdid my expectations, which was pretty hard to do because I had pretty high expectations. So,
Okay.
he was just great overall, and he was very, like he'd, like, initiate conversation with me and stuff, like, it was great.
What was the day like, start to finish? So you go down to Washington, you sign the 1-day contract, you meet TJ Oshie. Just kind of what was the whole day like with that?
Yeah, so after TJ brings me to the dressing room and I walk in and they're all just sitting there and I like my heart drops and I'm like, okay, like this is real. And I see Milano, like all the players that were hurt that came out anyway to come see me, and I thought that was really special. And I was like, oh my god, because I Milano was one of my favorites, and but he was injured a lot of last year. So when I saw him there, I was like, oh, oh nice. Like, and I saw a lot of like Hershey's that I like too, and I was like I couldn't like I was frozen. Like I couldn't stop smiling. Like I had a permanent smile on my face. And basically, TJ brought me into the middle of the room and he was like, this is Kalen. Like, she'll be joining us. Like, I know you guys are going to make her feel welcome and stuff. And he was just kind of explaining how I was a goalie too. And I got to go around the room and shake everyone's hand, which was awesome. And I had my own stall. And that was pretty cool. And the stall that I had was TJ's stall. So,
Okay,
yeah.
that's
And
no,
then,
that's
yeah.
yeah.
It was so good, and then I got to get dressed, and then I got to go on the ice for, like, half the practice, I wanna say, and, yeah, like, a bunch of the guys were just taking shots on me and stuff, and it was great.
So two separate questions here. Well, I'll
Mhm.
start with this one. Strapping on the pads for the first time in probably what felt like years.
Mhm.
Um, was there any concern? And when you got out there, just did it take a little bit to kind of get used to it again, or was it just basically like riding a bike?
Uh, like, at first, I was like, "Oh, yeah, I got this," but then as soon as, like, I think it was, like, 5 minutes, I was like, "Oh, I'm out of shape," like, "Ooh, I'm so out of breath," like,
That's
I
me
forgot
every
how
day in beer league, by the way.
I was like, I forgot how much, like, it actually takes to be, like, a goalie, and these guys are fast, and I know they weren't going fast on me, but it was felt like they were going really fast. So, like, oh, it was just, like yeah, like, my leg, like, it didn't even concern me because that's not what I was, like, focused on, but what I did notice was I was out of breath right away, but it was so fun, like, I didn't wanna stop, but I kinda had to because I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, yeah, no, fair. Yeah, no, I don't. I shudder at the thought of facing NHL shooters, and going to Vimy. You face up against a lot of WHL guys, a lot of AA, AAA guys. So I share that sentiment to an extent.
Mhm.
So moving on from there, and leads me into my next question is that did you have a chance to talk with the goalies at all? I don't remember who was on that team in terms of goaltending at that point in time. But did you get a chance to talk with them at all? I'm assuming that you did, but just like get a chance to just kind of pick their brain just in terms of goaltending and just maybe just kind of pick up a thing or two from them.
I mostly got to talk to Logan Thompson,
Right.
and he was the one I kind of, like, looked up to more, which is kind of, like, bad for me to say because I love them both, but, Logan Thompson was definitely, like well, he was their starter during that time, and he was, like, the one I looked to the most, and my mom actually asked him a question. He has, like, a blocker on his stick, like, a little, like, foam thing that he
The goalie block, I think, is
yeah,
the general. Yeah.
and my mom was like, "Oh, what is that? Like, why do you have that on your practice stick?" And then he was like, "Yeah, so my first practice with the Capitals, Ovi took a slapper and it broke my finger." So
Oh
so
no.
during practice, I always wear that now, and then he actually gave me the stick, and he signed my helmet as well and the stick, so I have the stick in my garage, and I'm gonna put it on my wall,
Okay.
so
Right on. No, no, that's great. I mean, it was such a cool thing to see, and like that because like we follow each other on Instagram, but that just
mhm,
randomly popped up on my story or on my feed with that and the Caps and you. And so I was really happy to see you happy and be able to see, and
Mhm.
just kind of you living out many kids' dreams, but living out, a
Yeah.
dream to be with the Capitals, to hang out with them for the day,
Mhm.
and go from there. Um, I wanna switch gears here a little bit. I want to talk about your family for a second, because I
Mhm.
don't think a lot of people think about that when it comes to dealing with cancer diagnoses and such. Again, like I said earlier in the pod, your dad was a big influence for you and just a big supporter for you. Just talk to us a little bit about the importance of family and just kind of their support throughout all of it.
It was really special, and I was really, really grateful to have like someone there with me all the time. Like when I was in Florida, it was my mom was there for with me and my dad, but my mom had to go back because she had to go back to work. But my dad was with me the whole time, and I don't know if you know, like I don't know if anyone knows what like the Ronald McDonald House looks like, but it's basically like a big hotel room. So there's two beds in the main room, and then there's like a small kitchen and then a bathroom, and then there was a little like living room area in a different room. My dad gave me the whole like living like they gave me the whole like bedroom area so I could have my own privacy because we were there for so long. And like he just stayed in the living room the whole time, which I felt very bad for, but he just he just wanted to make it like more like my space kind of, because like that's how it would be at home. And when I was in the hospital, my mom or my dad would either always be there, like I would never spend like a night alone. And I never worried about that, and I'm so happy for that and grateful for that, because sometimes like it was really hard cuz when I had troubles walking and when I had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, like they never complained. They never like blinked an eye. If I needed something, they were there. And like which made me feel very terrible because I feel like I'm usually like an independent person that wants to do everything myself, but them being there, it made like it was just very special. And it was great. Like I could not have asked like for like a better group of parents to be there for me. Like yeah.
When you see your dad, tell him I applaud him for the work that he put. I mean, like it sounds so silly because like it sounds like it should be like a basic thing. Your kid's not feeling well,
Mhm.
be there for your kid and such. But not a lot of parents are like that, and
Yeah.
especially with dealing something like this, it definitely is as much of a toll on your parents and your family as it is on the actual patient. So good on your dad, good on your whole family for being there. So just if you would like to extend my congrats to them.
Yep.
um Wrapping up here, just tell us what are you up to nowadays. We're about a year or so removed from everything that's gone on. As
Mhm.
far as I'm aware, everything's in remission, right?
Yep, everything so far is good.
Okay,
So,
excellent. So just where are you where are you now? What are you up to nowadays? Are you still playing? We kind of talked about it a little bit off camera.
mhm.
Just what's up with Kalen Anderson nowadays?
Yeah, so I'm still going to Vimy and I'm back in the hockey program now, but I'm staying as a player in the hockey program, but outside of like school, I'm a goalie, so I kind of have like the both of it, and I just think that's fun. And yeah, I just made the double A team in Leduc because I got released from the Kings. So, but I'm back at double A, which is what was my final goal for my final year of minor hockey. So I'm really, really happy about that.
Because more questions are popping into my head, I'm going to sidetrack again here quickly. We call it the Kevin Woodley special around here. We're not directly associated with Woods, but I guess I want to talk about quickly as well, because you and I do share that connection with Vimy, just how supportive the Vimy staff was while you guys were going through this process. Your teachers, your athletic teachers, just kind of everybody in that whole realm, because I know that they were on your side as well.
Yeah, they were really, really, really good. I was in the lacrosse program at the time because I kind of wanted to like switch things up and try out like a new sport. And I didn't get to like do very much of it before I got like diagnosed and stuff. But even them, like they were like they were very supportive and they had my back no matter what. And they made t-shirts, and whoever bought them, like the money would come to us so we could help with like treatments and stuff. And yeah, no, it was really special to have like everyone, like it felt like one big like family that was there to support me. And like I was just really grateful for that, and I think that's really like what helped me keep going. And all my teachers were great, and like yeah, it was just amazing. Like I'm so grateful for everyone there. Like
Yeah, no, Vimy is one of those schools that
mhm.
it's a family there, and then
Oh yeah.
one of us is hurt. Everybody's willing to step in.
Mhm.
Much like your Fort Saskatchewan Fury family as well. I know that they had a bottle drive for you, which my
Mhm.
wife and I did go and drop off a bag of bottles there to
Yeah, and
support
thank you
that.
for that.
You're welcome. So I guess just to kind of wrap things up here, what so I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it here because we could keep going down this rabbit hole. Um, I guess just thank you very much for coming on the pod and sharing your story with us. Um, Obviously, something that's a very, very, I don't want to call it a traumatic experience, but it is. But it just an experience that nobody should ever really have to go through in their
Mhm.
lifetime. Um, and so just the fact that you were willing to come on and share that with us, be part of October Saves with that, we really do appreciate that. I guess just to kind of cap things off here, any final thoughts, and where can people find you if they want to kind of follow your journey?
Yeah, so thank you for having me first of all. And I'm on Instagram mainly, and it's just Kalen Anderson but with an extra N on the end. Um I recently made a post for September, since it's childhood cancer month and stuff like that. So I do post frequently about my journey there, I feel like. So yeah, and I also post about my hockey and stuff and how it's going. So
So we'll link your Instagram account down in the
perfect.
show notes. So if you guys want to go give Kaylin a follow over on Instagram, go do that. Yeah. Any final thoughts or anything for the viewers here before we let you go?
Yeah, just anyone that's like going through something similar that I went through, just like I just want you to know that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and you have a huge support system that is behind you always. And if you're passionate about something, do not give up on it, regardless of what anyone says. Because I was supposed to never skate again, and now I'm playing double A again, which is something that I think is great. So,
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that will be another edition of the DIY Goalie Podcast presented by True North Goaltending. If you guys are watching over on YouTube, make sure you guys go hit that like and subscribe button. If you are listening on your favorite podcasting platforms, whether that be Apple, iHeart, or Spotify, if you're a new viewer or new listener, rather, make sure you hit that follow button. As well as if you are a returning listener or just a person in general who happens to come across the podcast, hit the share button, because the more goalies that we are able to bring together, the better. In case in point here between us and Kalen Anderson. You guys can follow us on your favorite social media platforms. All of those should be under True North Goaltending, except for Instagram, because we like to be different. That one is YEG Goalie Coach. You can follow myself over on Instagram at MondayGC. Go check us out, TrueNorthGoaltending.com, if you are in the Edmonton area and want to book a session with us. We do have our facility sessions booking all year round, so you guys can go check that out, TrueNorthGoaltending.com. On behalf of myself, Kalen Anderson, and Nathan Park, this has been the DIY Goalie Podcast presented by True North Goaltending. Make some saves, goalies. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.